Hey friends, and welcome to season 2 of Happy Homemaking, a time and a space for a couple of friends to get together and talk about all the homey things. Because I think in all the years of having this channel and in everything that we've done, we've always talked about how really the purpose of this channel was to create community in space where you could connect with other women, other moms, other wives, other homemakers, other just Christians in general, and talk about all those things that we run into in just the day-to-day of life, but in a real and authentic way. And so if you were coming over to the house to visit, we would all sit around the table, have a cup of tea with usually a cute little cup that I've recently found at a thrift store because that is my favorite thing to do. And we would talk about all the things. And so now that Sabrina is here, you guys get to see her in our chatty coffee dates at the end of each week where we answer your questions. So again, anytime you have a question, leave a little coffee cup emoji with it. Sabrina will collect those and we'll answer them in the Chatty Coffee Date podcast. But we're going to start our week off here with a few fun segments of just homemaking related topics. And we thought to kick off Happy Homemaking Season 2, the first topic we would focus on, we're calling it our Have You Heard? And you know, when you first get together with friends, because we do this every morning, I meet her in the office and, oh, have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? And I live under a rock and have most never heard of anything that you bring up. And so we said, you know what, this is what we're starting Happy Homemaking with. We have a delicious cup of tea and we're diving into the Have You Heards. So what's going on in the world? What have you been hearing about that I most certainly probably have not?
Well,
that's good tea. I love this tea.
It is really good.
It is. It's really good. I'll link it down below. Don't worry. It's a really good tea.
So,
yeah.
Last night, I was perusing the interwebs, as I do.
As you do.
As I do. And I found an article about a book club.
Okay.
That turned out to be a cult. And
welcome to our book club. Also, we're a cult. Okay.
The story ends with a guy selling his house to fund the book club
cult.
Yes.
Wow.
But it was just a book club. Obviously, it wasn't actually a cult.
So they literally were like, that's insane. Like, what kind of a cult is this?
Okay, so they met and it was like a Zoom call that they got together and discussed books, and it evolved. So they started listening to like the 7 highly habits of an effective person.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the title of it.
I have listened to like most, that's like a business productivity book.
So you mean it's got a wide net?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, they targeted.
How do you start off with like, I'm reading this like business, like life productivity book and now I'm in a cult?
Well, it was like, do you want to make your life better? Obviously, you want to come with us to this retreat. You want to do this thing with us. You want to make sure you enrich your life with this activity or this seminar. And they would do all of these things and they cost considerable amounts of money.
Wow.
And so
I feel bad when I charge even a little bit of money for anything with like the true purpose to actually help someone.
Yes.
And that's what amazes you because you see these people that charge. Like there's this one guy I listen to because surprise to everyone, I watch an insanely small amount of YouTube.
Yes.
And I just don't.
You don't listen to podcasts.
No.
You're not really listening to a bunch of like talking things.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of that going on.
Yeah. No, I just don't. I listen, I'll go through sermon series, I'll listen to my Bible app, or I have a few very select things that I do listen to. And that's like, I listen to one thing a day and that's it. Like, I just don't listen to a lot of stuff. And I listen to this one guy and it's usually like business finance related what I listen to because I just enjoy that stuff. Like to me, that's like a leisurely thing to listen to. I don't know. That's like my leisure time. If I'm doing something, I'm like, oh, I'll put this on. But he talks about the numbers that he charges for these things. And I'm like, good for you. If that's what you could like, okay, whatever, have at it. Like, okay. But it just blows my mind, the things like that, because I'm like, I feel like I charge, $5 for something that I pour tens and tens of hours into so much stuff. And it's like, oh, that was $5, or $10. Like I get like, oh,
So,
but it's hard to be able to be confident, right?
Yes.
This stuff you see now, living here, right?
Yes.
This stuff you see now, living here, like how much work it takes to make these things exist. Like, we got bills to pay too, like I get it, but then you look at these where like you've now created this cult off of, and they pay crazy amounts.
So the difference between the part that pushed it over into absurd is anytime somebody promises a pill to fix it all. Ooh, just read this book and it'll fix your life.
Yeah.
Oh, just read this or go to this seminar. Oh, just attend this one Zoom call. It will change everything. No.
Like when the purpose-driven life was the thing,
Yes.
back when like everybody had that. I could spot a purpose-driven life book from a mile away because everybody had it.
Yes.
But it was purpose-driven life is going to change everything. You just need this one book. And Rick Warren's one of the biggest heretics out there, now. But that was like the magic pill that was going to fix everything for Christians back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Obviously, you weren't a real, true Christian unless you read the Bible and
purpose-driven life.
And
sometimes you just read purpose-driven life because, there's verses in there.
And there's no time, so you got to choose between one or the other, and you're a busy mom, and shucks, I gotta rush. Yeah, it's all kinds of wrong. But I think that's what the difference is, that anytime a magic pill is offered or a magic solution is the offerings up, it'll never work.